The final heartbeat. Marc-Vivien Foé dies on the pitch. Lyon, France, June 26, 2003. It's a perfect summer afternoon, and 50,000 fans have packed into the Stade de Gerland to watch the FIFA Confederations Cup semi-final between Cameroon and Colombia. Among the players is Marc-Vivien Foé, a 28-year-old defensive midfielder who's having the best season of his career. He's been on loan at Manchester City all season, where he became a fan favorite, and now he's wearing the captain's armband for Cameroon in one of the biggest matches of their lives. The match kicks off and Cameroon takes control, scoring early. Foé is running the midfield like he always does, breaking up attacks, covering every blade of grass. Everything is going according to plan. Cameroon is 45 minutes away from reaching the final, and Foé is having another excellent game. Then the 72nd minute arrives. The ball is in play in midfield, nothing particularly exciting happening. Foé is jogging back toward his own half when suddenly, without any warning, he clutches at his chest. His legs buckle beneath him, he staggers forward a few steps and then collapses face first onto the turf. There's no contact with another player, no collision, no tackle, he just falls. For a few seconds, everyone assumes he's cramping up. But then players notice something wrong about the way Foé is lying there. He's completely motionless, and his eyes are open, but they're not seeing anything. Players start waving frantically at the medical staff. The referee stops the match, and suddenly, 50,000 people realize that something is terribly wrong. The medical team sprints onto the pitch and checks for a pulse. Nothing. No breathing. Marc-Vivien Foé has suffered cardiac arrest right there in the middle of the pitch. His heart has simply stopped beating. The doctors immediately begin CPR while other players stand around in a circle, some crying, some praying. An ambulance drives directly onto the pitch, something you almost never see. For 45 agonizing minutes, the medical team fights to restart Foé's heart. They perform CPR, use a defibrillator, inject emergency medications. Eventually, they get a faint pulse and rush him to the hospital. But at 6:15 p.m., less than 2 hours after he collapsed, Marc-Vivien Foé is pronounced dead. 3 days later, Cameroon faces France in the final. The Cameroonian players all wear jerseys with Foé's name and number 17 on the front. When the Premier League resumes, Manchester City retires the number 17 permanently. No player will ever wear it again. During their first home match after his death, the game is stopped in the 17th minute and 40,000 people stand and applaud for a full minute. Today, outside the Stade de Gerland, there's a statue of him captured in mid-stride, forever running, forever 28 years old.
The Cursed Own Goal, The Murder of Andrés Escobar. Pasadena, California, June 22, 1994. The Rose Bowl Stadium is packed with 93,000 screaming fans watching Colombia take on the United States at the World Cup. Colombia had entered this tournament as one of the favorites after destroying Argentina 5-0 in qualifying, and the expectations back home were absolutely massive. This wasn't just about football anymore, this was about national pride. Andrés Escobar, just 27 years old, is one of the best defenders in South America and the heart of this Colombian team. In Colombia, they call him El Caballero del Fútbol, the gentleman of football, because he plays with a level of class and sportsmanship that's almost extinct in the modern game. He's the kind of player who helps opponents up after fouling them, who never argues with referees, who treats every match with honor. He's a man without enemies, beloved by fans, respected by opponents, admired by teammates. The match is locked at 0-0 in the 34th minute when a cross comes floating in from the right side. Escobar tracks back toward his own goal to clear it, like he's done thousands of times before. But sometimes in football, everything goes wrong in the blink of an eye. Escobar stretches his leg out to intercept the cross, and somehow his foot makes contact at the worst possible angle. Instead of going safely away, the ball deflects off his foot and rolls past goalkeeper Oscar Cordoba into the net. 1-0 to the United States. An own goal. Andrés Escobar has just scored an own goal at the World Cup. The stadium falls into a strange, heavy silence. Escobar stands there frozen with both hands on his head, his face a mask of pure anguish, because in that single moment, he knows exactly what this means. Colombia loses 2-1, eliminated in the first round. All those expectations, all that hope, crushed in a single afternoon. They're not going home as heroes, they're going home as failures. The death threats start immediately. Phone calls to his family, letters to his address, messages describing in detail how they plan to make him suffer for his mistake. His friends and family beg him to leave the country, to let things cool down, to wait until the anger subsides. But Escobar refuses to hide. He didn't do anything wrong intentionally. He made a mistake on a football pitch, nothing more. He shouldn't have to live in fear because of that. July 2nd, 1994, just 10 days after that own goal, Escobar is out in Medellin at a bar called El Indio, trying to enjoy a normal Saturday night. Around 3 a.m., he walks out to the parking lot alone, heading toward his car. 3 men emerge from the shadows and walk directly toward him. One pulls out a revolver, and Escobar finally understands that this is real. These men are actually going to kill him over a football match. The gunman shouts, "Thanks for the own goal," and opens fire. 6 shots ring out, and after every single shot, the killer screams, "Goal," like he's a commentator celebrating a strike. 6 times he shoots. 6 times he celebrates. And then Andrés Escobar, the gentleman of football, collapses onto the pavement and bleeds out while his murderers speed away into the night. Andrés Escobar is pronounced dead before he reaches the hospital. 27 years old, murdered in cold blood, killed over a mistake in a football match. The shooter, Humberto Muñoz Castro, worked for a drug lord and had bet heavily on Colombia to win. When Escobar's own goal cost him a fortune, he decided Escobar needed to pay with his life. Castro is convicted and sentenced to 43 years, but serves just 11 years before being released for good behavior. At Escobar's funeral, over 120,000 people line the streets of Medellin to pay their respects. People who had sent threatening letters now stand crying. People who had called for his head now hold signs saying, "We're sorry." But sorry doesn't bring him back. Today, his grave in Medellin is still a pilgrimage site for football fans who want to honor a man who was killed for playing a game. On his tombstone, "Thanks for teaching us how to play."